That was tautology, whole entire. Anyways, through the entire movie, modulated his voice to sound like Danny Glover. I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like, I had to give it to him. This guy, you the act. Hey guys, welcome to another new episode on Is This Any Good? Now, on today's episode, I will be giving my review on the movie Jumanji, The Next Level. Why am I so dramatic? Anyways, back to what we're talking about. Now, Jumanji, this Jumanji that we're seeing, I hope you guys know that it's more or less like a remake of back in the day, because I think it was a Jumanji that I can't remember his name. If I remember, probably put it in the link so you guys can see. There was an actor back in the day who has passed now. I think he did his own version of it before Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart started their own version. Anyways, the first version, or the first part of Jumanji, it was okay. I mean, the chemistry with Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, they always seem to go like bread and butter. So it was really nice. But in terms of acting, especially showing their acting versatility, it wasn't really shown in the first part, in part one. But in this new one, Jumanji, The Next Level, I have to say, they blew me away. Now let me break it down for you. Let me give you just a list of the stellar acts that were in this movie. You have the classic Danny DeVito, yes. You've got the classic Danny Glover. You have recurring again, you have Jack Black, you have Dwayne Johnson, and then you have Kevin Hart. Now, let me just give you, I'm not going to expose a lot, but I'm just going to, so you know where I'm driving at. Now, in this particular movie, the young ones who were thrown into the world of Jumanji come back again, but now they are older and all of that and everything. But now there's a clause. One of them, his grandfather, who's played by Danny DeVito, and his grandfather's best friend, who's played by Danny Glover, are sucked into the world of Jumanji. And then, Dwayne Johnson, how do I put it now? Danny DeVito takes Dwayne Johnson as his avatar, and Danny Glover takes Kevin Hart as his avatar. Now, this is where versatility comes in. Kevin Hart throughout this whole entire movie. That was tautology, whole entire. Anyways, through the entire movie, modulated his voice to sound like Danny Glover. I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like, I had to give it to him. This guy, you the act. Throughout, you know how an old gentleman will talk? That's how Kevin Hart did from the beginning of this movie to the end. Dwayne Johnson also had to modulate himself to fit as Danny DeVito. So when I talk about versatility, this is what I'm talking about. They show that apart from being a funny guy or being an action figure, they could also assume other roles, go out their comfort zones and assume other people's roles. It was just fantastic. Watching it was just a thrill. Now, to be honest, the first part of the movie was a bit slow and a bit dull because you kind of have this feeling that I'm not waiting to do for Jumanji Part 1. So it's kind of like replaying in your face again. But things start to kick up a notch when there's the scene where they get to, there's this war, they have to get this apple, some sort of fruit. And then they divide themselves. Somehow, one of the team has to go to get the apple, and the other has to go to a camel to get some camels for them to ride. Now, this particular scene, this is when things start getting interesting, because at this point, Jack Black shows his own versatility. Now, Jack Black he assumes two different people roles in this movie. He acts as a woman, and he acts as a black American footballer. I mean, so imagine him, Jack Black, a white man, modulating his voice and his gestures to fit that of a black man. It was just fantastic. So for those parts, I have to say that in this part, the movie really, really took me away. The villain in this movie, to me, was way better than the one that they used in part 1. He had more oomph, to talk about that. And it was just really nice, and I like how it ended. So Again, I would say the first part of the movie is a bit dull. So don't give up. Just push to the part where I tell you gets interesting, and from then on you will love this movie. So if I had to rate this movie, I would say the movie is like maybe 7.5/10. Yes, thereabouts. But it's a fantastic movie. It's a movie that you would not regret going to the cinema to watch. So I would highly recommend that you see this movie. If you have seen it already, or after you've seen it, you want to drop a comment to let me know if you agree with what I've said or not. Please drop it at the comments section below, and I will see you on the next episode. But before you go, please do not forget to give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you on the next episode. I remain the skinny dude with the goatee, Mr. Fuzz.